This is Posedla Joyseat, the world's first custom 3D printed bike saddle. I've been using its first and second generation for a few months, and in this review I share my experience with them. I will also tell you how the customization process works, what makes Joyseat unique, why it costs over $500 and much more. Hi, Petr from CyclistHub.com here. Joyseat is about the 10th saddle I've tried. I will admit I was pretty tired of searching for the perfect saddle. So what about Joyseat? Before I share my experience, I will walk you through the order and customization process, and I will also tell you something about Posedla. Posedla is a Czech company that has decided to end the hassle of finding the right saddle. They have developed a unique process that allows them to make a custom saddle based on your butt imprint. After you place your order, they will send you a smiling butt kit. This is a box with a foam and guide marks that you sit in, then take pictures of it and upload the photos to their system. The algorithm then creates a 3D model of your butt and detects the width of your sit bones. But the configuration doesn't stop there. You then continue with a detailed online questionnaire where you fill out information such as bike type, annual mileage, preferred riding position, flexibility and much more. With this information, Posedla can adjust the saddle shape to maximize the probability of the right fit. The manufacturing process, which takes place in the Czech Republic and Germany, naturally takes some time. I ordered the first generation Joyseat on October 20th, and it was delivered after about 5 weeks on the 4th of December. That's pretty quick considering the complexity and labor intensity of its production. But the main question remains. Is it comfortable? Having heard only positive feedback on Joyseat, I've had high expectations. However, the first generation Joyseat did not fit me 100%. While it didn't put pressure on my private parts, which I've had a problem with when using many other saddles, I did encounter other shortcomings. The first was the width and the length of the nose. I prefer saddles with narrower and shorter noses, which the first generation didn't offer. This led to me grinding my thighs against it when pedaling. At the same time, I found the saddle hard when testing it in the winter, so I communicated this with Posedla. They explained that the material the padding is made of tends to harden in the winter. This surprised me as I don't want to limit myself to what temperature is outside when buying a new saddle. At temperatures above 10 degrees Celsius it was still too hard and I've never quite got used to it. The padding is also non-slip. This may or may not suit you depending on what are you used to. I prefer saddles with slippery surfaces as I can move around on them easily. I have a theory that if the bib shorts stick to the saddle while the butt tends to move, there is an additional friction between the skin and the pad. This can lead to excessive chafing and discomfort when you don't use chamois cream. What do you think? Does this theory make sense? Let me know in the comments below. While editing this video, I realized I forgot to tell you the technical specifications. My Joyseat first generation weighted 183 grams. The second generation is 25 grams lighter. Of course, the saddle has a carbon shell and rails. Posedla also allows you to customize the color of the real plastic piece and also add custom text. So far, it all sounds like I've had a negative experience with Joyseat, right? Well, not really. The specialized power comb I've been riding up until now seems a bit more comfortable overall due to the softer padding and the shape. On the other hand, it puts pressure on my prostate when I'm riding in an aggressive riding position, so I have to tilt the nose down. This results in more pressure on my hands. Luckily, I don't experience hand numbness. Its shape also pushes me into the back of my thighs, which didn't happen with the Joyseat first generation. Before I tell you my experience with Joyseat second generation, I must highlight Posedla's pro-customer approach, communication, money-back guarantee and podcast. I shopped with many companies already, but Posedla has outperformed them all. They really go the extra mile for the customer. During my testing of the Joyseat first generation, Posedla introduced Joyseat second generation, which has a narrower and shorter nose, is lighter and a little softer. In theory, it should address most of my complaints about the Joyseat first generation. So what was the reality? I returned the Joyseat first generation and in the meantime, they manufactured the second generation based on my previous imprint and additional feedback. They lowered the padding hardness to better meet my requirements. Naturally, I couldn't wait to test the new saddle out. Before summarizing my impressions, however, I should mention that I tested the Joyseat first generation on Yolio R12. It has very stiff rear end. I've already used the Joyseat second generation on Windspace Agile, which is much more comfortable. I would love to tell you that the Joyseat second generation is perfect, but it's not. Compared to the first generation, it's much more comfortable, but my thighs still rub against its tip and it still feels too hard. I'm simply used to a softer saddle, the previously mentioned Specialized Power Comb. However, I have managed to find a position on the Joyseat second generation that I'm able to ride for long hours, but it's not like I'm sitting on a cloud. Is it even possible? What do you think? What's your riding comfort and what saddle you use? How long or how many saddles did you have to try to find the best ones? Let me know in the comments below. I find it important that Joyseat doesn't put pressure on my prostate, which in the long run could lead to problems I would rather avoid. One of the most discussed topics around Joyseat is the price. It costs $550 US. At first glance, it seems high, but is it really? As always, that depends on what you compare it to. For example, the Physic Vento Argo 00 Adaptive is $399 US, and the 3D printed S-Works Power with Mirror is $450. But these are mass-produced and not custom-made. Physic also recently introduced its one-to-one program. They are also able to print you a custom saddle, but you have to visit an authorized shop, which are very limited in number for now. The price for their saddle is set at $599, so after factoring in the time investment, it comes out much more expensive. Joyseat is manufactured in Germany and the Czech Republic, which are not exactly countries with cheap labor. Sure, if you compare the Joyseat to regular saddles, it's expensive. However, few people manage to pick the right one the first time, thus causing additional financial and time costs. I think that Posedla delivers a good product, world-class customer support and good educational content. Furthermore, by purchasing Joyseat, you will indirectly support employment in one of the less promising regions in the Czech Republic. I asked a few people who use Joyseat how they like it, and they usually answer that it's the best saddle they've ever had. While I didn't have such a wow experience, I recommend giving it a try. The second generation is significantly better than the first one, and if it doesn't fit you, you can take advantage of their money-back guarantee. I will keep mine because while it's not perfect, considering all its pros and cons, it's still better than all the saddles I've tried. Anyway, I hope you find this review helpful. If you do so, please like and subscribe below. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one. Ciao!